plate. There's a little lever on the side on these. And for these, it's a butt press. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that too. We can adjust the low end trim. All the low end trim is an artificial bottom, so we've just set a new floor instead of what the floor was, which was too low for it to work properly. We just brought that up a little bit higher because the worst performance happens at the bottom. You're still going to get good dimming performance. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up. So right now, nothing happened. Right, I turned it on, nothing happened. Plugged in. Check. Oh, there it flashed. Right. So that happens. That happened to my IKEA bulbs. I bought a bunch of those and they flashed like that. So I just set the trim, and now the light turns on. And it does what the customer expects. Yep, it's right over here. Sometimes they have a lever up here. Sometimes it's a wheel. On these, it's a push button. All right, but it's pretty easy to see once you pop it open. You don't have to take it out of the wall. You can just slide that trim lever anywhere, and still you get to your trim. You're doing close. Now we lost a little bit at the bottom, right? If we went back to here and brought this down, it would get quite a bit different. But then see, it turns off before I get to the bottom. So this bulb does not work well with that. Then you get that dead travel, right? You don't want that. So you want to bring it up where it's just to where it's working properly, and then now that's your new low. Okay. It's also possible to set the high end trim. So if they want to keep it at 80% same energy, you can also do that. So that's that. That's the biggest problem you're going to see. How do we combat that? First of all, we do some research online and say, hey, we go into a product selection tool, which I think I've shown you before, where you can go in and pick a lamp. I go to a product selection tool, which is on lutron.com/LED. If I just choose let's say I want to use Caseta, I just select that dimmer and I go, I don't care what light it is, I just want to use that Caseta, because that's what I have in my house. I go to search, and it's going to give me all the lights or all the lamps that work with Caseta. And it's going to give you a report card. Let me see here one that goes down to, this one goes down to 7%. It's not the best one in the world, but it works. It's to set a customer expectation. They see this, they go, okay, it'll dim down to 7%. This is probably a little higher than that, right? 7% is still low, but it looks like 27% to the human eye once we adjust. So you got to watch out for that. It's a customer expectation issue. These are not halogen or incandescent bulbs. They do not go down to zero unless you get a more expensive, more appropriate driver. If you need that to go down to nothing, either use a halogen lamp or buy a driver that can do that, which we have. Okay, but this is for just putting that CDOT on the wall and having it work. This is what you're doing. It gives you a whole report card what the engineers ran into, how many lamps per zone you can have on one dimmer, right? All that information that you need. So it's a little bit more research, just a little bit more, but it does save them problems. When I go down and I bought lamps the other day, I got some new LEDs to replace some of my halogens, and I just brought this along with me to run it. So pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Okay, so that's LEDs. So we've got a whole wide range of these, right? We've got the Diva, we've got the Ariadne. Those are all 250 too, because anything that's with our more popular models also gives you a 250 watt option, as opposed to just the 150 watt option. That's LED. It also goes quite a bit higher for the incandescent unit. But you have to think about limiting yourself with that, because just because it's maybe you have a 1,000 watt dimmer, it's like, oh, I put 100 LEDs on this thing because they're all 10 watts. Yeah. There's a inrush current that will damage the thing over time. Okay, so that's what you got to watch out for. But if it says 150 watts LED on our package, keep it to 150. Okay, fantastic. Now we're talking about digital. All right, we're talking about things like the Caseta. Okay, now here it works just like a regular dimmer. LED, CFL, LED, right? Halogen, incandescent. Everything works the same. Makes sense. Dim up, dim down, off, on. Very much like the Maestro that's over there. Same kind of situation, right? We set the trim here by holding these two buttons, and you can set the high end trim and the low end trim. High end trim to the top, low end trim to the bottom. Makes sense, right? But that's going to be the same thing. So lamps like this might need a lower bottom just to turn on. Right? We can dim this down pretty low, but we can even get this lower by holding that button down. This will blink to give you feedback to let you know. Okay. This will be the same for all of our. So you can see that the false bottom here is still about 20–30% up, right? So we can bring that down further. This will keep dimming. You see it get darker and darker and darker and darker. Now, once we start seeing, notice that there might be flashing or something, that's when we can stop it and make that the new bottom. Okay? But you can do quite a bit. And some of these lights will go down pretty far, even the inexpensive ones. Okay. So I'll turn that off.
Holding the on and down arrow locks it.
Yeah, and then you lock it right back into place, just like that. So you started it, it blinks, you lock it, and it blinks back. And it goes back to solid. That's it. So that's how the Caseta works. So what else is great about the Caseta is that it's easy to install. It's just 2-wire, polarity free, so power in, power out, just like an Edison switch. So if you have knob and tube wiring, you can put this in. Yeah. Right. So what we're looking at, pretty cool, right? So one thing that interests most people is, hey, I want to add a three-way switch to this thing, right? I want to add a three-way switch to my house, but I don't want you tearing through the walls. I don't want you tearing through the ceiling, going through my attic. 6 hours later, maybe you're halfway done, right? And now you've got to replaster everything else. People don't want contractors in their house doing that all day, right? You don't have to anymore. That job might have taken 5 to 10 hours, but now if I hold this button down for 6 seconds, it's going to start blinking on the side. Okay. I think that I have. Make sure that I'm on my, turn off my Wi-Fi so it's not doing it, because sometimes this demo interferes. And if you hold this button on the bottom for 6 to 10 seconds, it'll blink at us when you're connected. You're going to add a three-way switch. It's just that little move right there. There you go, you're done. So now you've got a three-way switch. You just take this, screw it to the wall, add it to an already ganged plate, and you've got a three-way switch that controls that light. And it has a 10-year battery and it has a spec of 10 years. If you don't use that very often, I think it's going to last you 13 to 20 years, right? And I hardly ever use mine. But it's a 2032 battery in it, so it's, you just buy it at Walmart or whatever, or here, right? So that comes with all of our products, a 10-year battery. Nothing proprietary about it. You buy that battery. But now I've got that three-way switch where that customer probably wasn't going to want you to do it. They didn't care so much about the money. They just didn't want you tearing up their house all day long. Now that contract, they put it in there for the same price that they would have spent or had on labor. It would take them all day. They could have done a lot more jobs during that day. They just got paid the same amount, right? That's a big thing for contractors, okay? Or for a homeowner, right? So they just want that in there, but now they got a switch like that. And you start putting these in your house, right, all over the place. You put three ways where you need them, and then it's already a C.L dimmer, right? It's already a good dimmer to have, but it gives you the option of adding another switch somewhere. And these don't have to be stuck on this. I can go ahead and throw it on a pedestal, which isn't on there right now, but I'll show you by letting you program too. So this is going to blink again at me. We can go ahead and add this too. If you want to go ahead and hold that bottom button down for about 6 to 10 seconds. That'll connect too. So now we'll have 2 different ways of controlling that light. But in addition to that, we can have scenes, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Once that flashes. Holding that bottom button down. You are. There. Nice. It's got it. So, and then we're gonna add the leg lamp there too. Does anybody see the Christmas Story? Yeah. My mother-in-law pretty good at that. So we got this way to control it. We've got your way to control it. You hit the on button, please. The top button. We've got those 2 places to control, right? So now we got an on. I got 4-way switch if you wanted one. But we can also add other things to this too. Can you go hold the bottom button on the thing right behind the bottom gray button for about 6 seconds? That thing should, the little light on the thing will flash. I can't see it. A little upper left-hand corner. Is it flashing?
No, yeah.
Is there a range
Yes.
for the switch?
So you're looking at, just go ahead and try it again. 30 feet through any construction, 60 feet open space. That's a conservative spec, all right? You're looking at a 3,000 square foot house. You can probably go a 3,500 square foot house you start to work. It might be too far, but you really don't. These things can really go hundreds of feet. Wow. That one might need to be reset. I'm not sure. I might have put too many on that guy, which would have been my fault beforehand.
Let's see. I think I probably just have to reset it. We'll add this to show a scene.
Okay, there we go. Now if we go ahead and add this button, you go ahead and hold the bottom button right here. Okay. Hold it for about 6 to 10 seconds, the whole lamp will flash. So now that one will be talking to that lamp and this guy, right? There you go. Get it back to me, please. Okay. And then now that one's controlling this one and this one. So that'll go back on. Now I control both of those. So that could be an all-off light, right? So I can put this by the bed on the pedestal. Have an all-off light. Okay. Now if I want to do something like, I want to put this thing on to full blast. That one's going to go full blast. Maybe I want this one to go down. So I want maybe moving it, right? I'm going to put this one down. Maybe I have the shade halfway, which I'm not going to include the shade right now, but I may have the shade halfway and have these lights to come down. That one would come down. I just hold that middle button for how long do you think? 6 seconds. This will flash at me. And now that's going to be set the new scene. Now if I turn everything off, I'll just turn everything off. Now this will go to, that'll go to full bright, that'll be down when I hit this button, hopefully. I did, right? Oh, yeah, there you go. So now that button, now that scene just came on. So if I have include a fireplace with a switch and things go down, and that's all without even connecting to the internet. Well, this is on 434 right now. This is a 18-year technology that doesn't cause any interference with anything else government regulated. So now all by itself, that's a pretty powerful system, right? But we can add the internet to this bridge now. We can make a bridge from our cell phone or smart device to our lights, okay? So if the internet goes down, it still uses RF, right? The homeowner's going to ask that, hey, if the internet goes down, is this still going to work? This is wired, and these are RF, okay? So everything will still work, the lights will still work. But if you look at this, as I put on this guy, I'll show you my house right now. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Because I've got all the zones of light in my house are either on Caseta, or they're on sensor. So if I do this, and now this is in Mokina, and I turn this on, see all my lights right now. Just in case everybody see that. Yeah. So I can turn them all off, I can set them individually. So now I can just go up here in my little app, and throw on individual sets of lights, dim them down, whatever I want. Shades to my, I got a two Nest thermostats on there. You can put Honeywell, Carrier, or Ecobee. Yeah. So you can control all that from here. Nice.
That's what I have.
I have, yeah, nice. So if I want to add a device, it's really easy. Just go, this app is free. All right, there's no monthly payment. Once I get the bridge, it all tells you how to hook everything up through the app. Okay. If I want to add a device, I just pick a device that's on the thing. I said add a device. Oh, I want to do an in-wall dimmer. It tells you how to add the in-wall dimmer. It doesn't even have to have an instruction book. It just tells you how to do it. Okay. I won't do it right now because that's just for my own house. But that's how you do it. And then you can do other things like add a scene. Like we just added a scene like that, right? We add some things we wanted to set them to, and then we held the button, and now that's a scene. It's pretty cool, right? But we can do it more easily through the app. So now once I've added everything I wanted to, and you can keep adding these. It does not have to be all at once. Okay, you can keep adding these over time. But let's say I've just added everything in my house, and I want the scene that I want. So I just go to scenes, I go to more. I want to add one, so I hit a plus. I can do one manually, like I did the other one with my kids, where all the upstairs lights are obviously turned on. So I want to turn them off. I just hit scene and turn all the lights off upstairs. But if I want to run it automatically, I can just choose the day of the week, right? I can choose the time of day or in relation to sunrise or sunset. Why is that powerful? Because now I've got time clock on all zones that I have a Caseta on. Okay, all zones. They don't require an extra time clock to buy. You have to put it in the wall. It's just included with the price of admission to this thing. Okay. Now you got time clock on every device you put that in your house. It's a big deal. Okay. So that's automatic. Now it also has the ability to turn on your lights and by just knowing how far away from your house you are. So that's what's called geofencing. So if I could go to the main screen, go to arriving, leaving home. When I leave home, nothing happens. My family's almost always there. I don't need to remind you to tell my lights are off for me personally, but you can do that. You have it remind you that you have some lights on. You can have them turn them off automatically. But when arriving home, I have certain lights off, and you can just select them. What lights do I want to have turn on at what level? Okay, and when you go into one, and I went in the dining room, that one's going to come. It's going to be off. Or maybe I want it to be on halfway. Okay, and that's what I want to have happen when I come home. I want that to happen. So when I come home, my wife can see that. Hey, I'm coming home. The lights are dimmed down. Right. Mostly it's because I got the kids maybe in the van, and I want to bring them to bed. It's after dark, and I don't want to wake them up, but I also want to trip on the Lego. So I have really dim half light. My wife's scene. She comes home with every light on, regardless of time of day. So she doesn't want to come home to a dark house. I get it, but it wakes me up when she does come home late. All right. So, but if I want to do that, so that's pretty cool. So arriving, leaving home, the thing that sets it is my phone, so it knows where my phone is. Set my home location. When I do that, hit that button. It gives me a map, and I can go ahead and if I can see this thing, I can spread this little fence, geofence, satellite driven or GPS driven. Out to where I want it to. Now that's where I used to have it, right? And I'll pass 45. This is my house. When I got in that bubble, my lights dimmed down. Everybody knows I'm coming home. It's a big mistake. So one time I want to go to Taco Bell, which is down here on 45, right? And I was going to give myself a case of no big deal. Man, I can do it if I want to, right? She goes, where have you been for the last 40 minutes? I go, I was at work. I came straight home. She goes, no, you weren't. I go, okay, I went to Taco Bell. She goes, you don't need to go to Taco Bell. You're 200 pounds. I go, first of all, 198. Okay. Second of all, I can do whatever I want. But what I did is to avoid that situation in the future, I just go ahead and shrink that down. Just to the area just before 45, and now I can go and let you watch it. But That's a powerful thing. That particular item. Now it works with Apple Watch, and it works with Siri, and it works with Alexa. So if they have Alexa, they can say, hey, turn my lights off, turn my lights on. It'll do all the same things that they do. It works with Nest. We talked about that. Works with Control 4, RTI, Alarm.com, a bunch of third-party apps, which are in this brochure. And it's very affordable. Right? So you're looking at my house, which has 22 devices and sensors. I was looking at $1,900 list price. So I just made my house a smart house. Smart house, which I don't know whether that's going to relate to when I sell that place, but it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot more than I invested in it. Okay, and now I've got that, and to change the ownership, I'll just have them reset this. That's it. They'll have their own password. I can't get it. So that's all there is to it. Awesome device, completely scalable. You can use it the bridge if you want to. You can use the standalone if you want to. They can start off small and build up. Once they get the bridge, though, it's like crack. They're going to start using it all the time. Okay, so you'll see because I had standalone, then I put the bridge in, and the next day I put 24 devices. It happened just like that. And I spent it with my own money. I bought it from Lutron with my own cash. It was well worth it. And it only took me a day. I'm not an electrician. But these things are not hard to put in, right? And so where there's a 4-way switch, I just kept those all off hot. I made that a Pico spot, and where it was easy, and with 2 wires, I went ahead and put the real device in. You don't have to know a lot about wiring. Well, customer doesn't need to know this, obviously. They know that, I mean, you can tell them, right? So they can change it as they want to, but they don't want to mess with electricity. Okay, that's mostly, it's not that it's hard for them, they don't want to mess with electricity. Because it can be dangerous. You know, you do have to make sure you turn off the circuit breakers because this thing will get damaged. Highly sensitive computer these days. But they're still going to want a professional. They're going to want somebody to do it. So think about this when they're asking about any CDOT out. There's no reason not to move this. I think the Caseta one, and it comes in white, ivory, black, and light on, right? This should be replacing almost all dimmers in the first place because they have that potential to future-proof themselves. All they have to do is add this bridge later. Okay, they don't have to, but it's especially apartments around here, small places. This is like 3 or 4 devices, and you're done. You have these sensors in there too in the bathrooms where you don't even need to. You don't need to have control of your phone in the bathroom, right? But it's nice when I have 4 kids. When one of them goes in there, they don't have to touch the light switch. It just turns on, or my parents come down to visit. They just walk in. They don't have to think about how the light switch works. They just walk in, they walk out. Light turns off automatically when they need to. At nighttime, I set it down to the very low level, so it's super dim. The kids walk in, they don't wake up their brothers and sisters. That's right? Or your own bedroom, for that matter. Maybe you have an all-off switch or an all-on switch by your bedside, so don't argue about who turned the lights off. Even if you don't want to bust out your phone, you can just hit that button and turn all the lights off. These are all the advantages you have. These are only some of the advantages. There's so many other things you can do with the system, right? So I think people are starting to think about sensors again too in their own home. They've seen them in their offices, but they don't necessarily think about their house because they haven't been that good. Lutrons are very good. We're talking about if I move like this much, light will turn off, or no, okay? It's a different ball game as far as sensors go. PIR technology is very strong. We also have dual technology for offices and things like that. If they have obstacles in the way. This is still a site, just much better than it used to be. Easy to program. You can see the commercial ones are very easy to program. You can just follow this LED up here and press the button down below to change it. And you don't have to pull the whole thing out of the wall to do it. Okay, it's right through, easy access. Now the home ones don't have that, but you're not going to be changing the home ones all the time. All of them are able to do vacancy or occupancy, meaning the light turns on, you leave, or you come in and it turns off and you leave, or you have to manually turn the light on, but it turns off on that. All our devices can do both. Okay, so it doesn't matter if they ordered the wrong one, they've ordered the right one. So there's no problem.
What's the MSRP on the Caseta?
Depends on the device, but $72 what you're looking for retail price on the thing. If you get the kit, which comes with this and a Pico, $80. So you're only paying $8 for the Pico list price. Right, your price is quite a bit less than that. So that's good. And there's a million kits in here too. If you want to take a look at this bad boy, you got all the list prices in the back, kits and things like that, combinations. The adding the bridge to if there are a couple of dimmers right off the bat, it's a great way to start it because they get a couple of zones of light. You can play around with the bridge a little bit. You know, with one, I'll say it didn't work, but my parents had one in the bridge, and they figured out like 19 different ways to turn that one light off upstairs. They had an iWatch, and they were doing it from downstairs. They had the Picos on both sides, and they're using time clock, and they're using everything. So I would say that you need more than one to start, but you don't. One is they'll probably play around with enough to buy some more from you, right? But if you guys are the knowledgeable experts on this, you're gonna have the market cornered, especially in this area. Right? So don't be, there's nothing to be afraid of, right? That was really easy to program. Right, you held a button for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing on the app, even easier, it tells you how to do it, right? So the contractor's a little afraid. It's new technology. I don't know how to program it. No, it's not really programming. It's just pairing up. That's all it is. And you can change it anytime. Right? So don't let them be afraid of that. It's not scary. The more you guys know about this, the better off you're going to sell it and tell people about it, right? And don't forget about the sensors too. Sensors are like a key part, and so less expensive. These sensors, I forget what the cost is on a C.L dimmer sensor, but it's less than a caseta. So if we're putting it in the bathroom, it's a smart idea. Or using our dual circuit sensor, right, for maybe an exhaust fan in a light, or exhaust fan in the tub, or whatever you have, right? So those I have. That's my example in my house. Is I have exhaust fan and tub. I rarely use the tub, probably never. And so that's on vacancy, and the exhaust fan, I want it on vacancy too, so they're both on vacancy. I have to press the button if I want to, but it'll turn off automatically when I leave for a certain time. I put it for I used to have them all, the exhaust fans on occupancy, so when I walked in and turned on, but I was like, "Roar!" every time I went, so that was the end of that. Are there any questions about this stuff? Anything else you want to know? This stuff is, it's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be hard, it's meant to be really, really easy. Just realize that these, even our digital ones, work very similarly to the C.L analog ones. People are going to still get these because they're going to spend less money, right? Okay, that's fine. But if they're at all techie, this is easier to put in, it's easier to figure out, and it future-proofs them. They should never have to put another one in. So they'll cost more money up front. It makes a lot of sense in the long run. Bandwidth control or shape. Let them think about that.
Is there a video on YouTube that you could tell them just watch this video and it shows that?
We do have it on our if you go to Lutron.com, we have quite a bit of caseta right on the front, right on the front page, I think. So they can probably go to that. But I can probably try something out. And for you guys, we have a lot of free online trainings that are about 10 minutes long. But they're going to talk about very similar things that we just talked about. But if you want a refresher, that's how you can do it. So, or just call us. Shoot, I'll talk about it all day long. I got them all over my house. They're really easy. I just did one in where I was, but I just did a whole accounts programming. It was in Columbus. I did a whole account owner's programming, 20 devices in his house. I did it all in less than 20 minutes. They're already installed, no problem. The electricians did it easy. And I just went around with my iPad and said, okay, this one, I want you to control this, this, and this, and this. Because when you put in a Pico, you don't have to like associate it to every one. You just select it on the app. I want the Pico to do every single light in the house, or this light in the house, or these lights. And when you set up scenes, you just set the slider. You have to walk around the house. It's pretty cool. So this is for the. I mean, you could get a more dynamic program that has more. This has a limit of 50 devices, so over 3,000 square feet house. You're probably looking at reaching that limit. You're looking at Radio Rock 2, you know. But if you're looking for any house that's 3,000 or below, they never thought they could afford a smart home. Now they can. This is affordable. Because if you buy these one at a time, one a month, in 12 months you've got 12 devices. That's a lot. Okay. So that's money well spent, I think. And I really don't see any reason they shouldn't just keep this be flying off the shelf right here. It's just a matter of us knowing about it and talking about it. Get the word out. Because people don't know this is even a thing. They still don't, right? So that's up to us. Make sure we keep talking. Okay. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you're busy. But if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
So
Yeah, we'll be here
you
for a
hook
bit.
up to your blinds, no?
Yes, you can hook up to your blinds too. This one's set through the program. I'll show you, but yeah, I think this is on that. No, this is on this thing. So this would be the same way. Okay, and you can do it through the app as well. Pretty cool. So again, those blinds can cost a bit, but don't discourage people from getting them. Because I used to, and I go, yeah, it's a lot of money, but people want them, and they are still comparably priced to other people's battery powered shades. So I didn't recognize that when I first joined the company. Went from a more thrifty mentality, but people spend their money on whatever. If they want it, they'll just get it. My parents just said, "Give me an 8-foot shade, battery powered shade." I'm like, where were you when I was in high school and we needed air conditioning? Now you're buying 8-foot shades, roller shades. Yeah, it would break. So
Times have changed.
yeah, they have. Anything else?
We're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, don't let the customer be afraid of this thing. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's real easy. Wireless sometimes tends to scare them, but nothing to be scared of.
Pizza.
Pizza.
I had to close them up because everyone was scared of the chicken. It's almost gone.
So that's right.
It's almost gone already?